If I was to ask you, who do you follow on social media, what would you say? For some, it may be a well-known musician, a media personality, a politician, or a sports person. For others, it may be a colleague, a friend, or a family member. Some of you may be delighted to share publicly whom you follow. Others may feel rather awkward and even embarrassed. I did a Google search yesterday to ascertain what the most followed Instagram accounts were. At the top were such well-known celebrities as Cristiano Ronaldo, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Beyoncé, and Justin Bieber. I expect that some of us may even follow them too. But it got me thinking about why we want to follow a particular person or a lifestyle or a belief system. Deep down, what is it that attracts us? How does it impact upon us and others? 2 weeks ago, we saw John's baptism of Jesus. Last week explained John the Baptist's testimony regarding his baptism, as well as his version of the call of the disciples. The onset of Jesus' proclamation comes directly on the heels of the interruption of John's public ministry. Matthew indicates that John has been arrested, but the reason for his arrest is not provided. It probably was because of his proclamation and baptizing activities. Matthew clearly conveys that Jesus' ministry is going to advance independently from John's ministry. No continued contact between the two is recorded. John's arrest soberly foreshadows to what end Jesus' earthly ministry will also conclude. Today's gospel describes the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. Matthew describes Jesus walking by the Sea of Galilee and calling the first 4 of his disciples. They were all fishermen whom Jesus called to follow him. Matthew twice uses the word immediately. I was struck by this description that immediately they left what they were doing. They didn't pause to think. They did not consult their families or their bank balances. The Greek word euthios indicates a direct response. It is as if they were compelled to follow Jesus and to trust him, almost as if they had been waiting all their lives to hear this voice, to be issued with this call, so that when it came, they dropped what they were doing. The reality, of course, is that God had already been working in their lives in ways that they were unaware of or were not readily able to articulate or understand. Perhaps they were simply responding to what had already been imprinted on their souls from birth, the knowledge of God's voice, so that when they heard it, all they could do was to follow him. Our gospel reading ends by reminding us that Jesus didn't just call them. He goes throughout Galilee, teaching in synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness among the people so that others could respond to him. It is not a liturgical accident that after Epiphany and before Lent and Easter, Jesus invites us to follow him, sustaining us through the daily ordinariness of our lives. As I look out from this pulpit, I can see new faces too who were not here a year ago. Our congregation is growing. God is working in and through us, drawing us all into his living body, of which we are an integral part. May God give us wisdom to discern his voice, and like Peter, Andrew, James, and John, respond by following him too.